For the last two races of the ITYRL IHOP Cup Series, we've been running those on the East Coast with Daytona and Homestead. Today, we'll be running it on the other side of the country, running it on the West Coast in beautiful Portland, Oregon. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the third race of the ITYRL IHOP Cup Series. Today, here at the Portland International Speedway, our first road course event of the series, as our first set of the NASCAR Goes West campaign. We're going to be knocking off a couple tracks, starting today with Portland Raceway alongside Pikes Peak next week, followed by Phoenix, Las Vegas, Auto Club, and wrapping it out with Sonoma. So we're going to be starting it off with the road course and ending it with a road course later on. So let's go ahead and get started with today's starting lineup. On the pole, driving the number 37 Bud Light Ford, that is Ryan Durrani. Starting alongside him in the first row is Chris DeJetta driving the 16. In row number 2, we got Cyrus McGee in the 44 and Kerry Rogers. Kerry Rogers driving the number 3. Then we got Jonathan Mick driving the number 45 Dodge and John Dixon in the number 20. That is row number 3. Row number 4, we got Danny Baran driving the number 10 and LJ Toledo in the number 88. And then wrapping out the top 10, we have the number 66 of Tony Wright and the number 24 of Gustavo Roldan Jr. We're going to be taking a look at the rest of the cars in this field today. Of 35, 2 of them have already won this season. Will we be seeing a third one today, or will we be seeing one of the 2 drivers that we've already seen win today win once again? Here goes the command. Drivers, start your engines.
Drivers,
firing up here for the first time today. Gonna be rolling off here today as we're gonna get started. Let's take a look at the 3 drivers to keep an eye out on. One of them is, of course, Homestead winner Sesbison Kukalon driving the number 5 Xfinity Dodge. We'll be seeing him once again returning to victory lane today. Let's not forget the drivers that have been running in the back. The last 2 races were the drivers that won the race normally started in the back couple rows. The other driver that we saw win recently at Daytona, that was Darren O'Connor in the number 83. Will we be seeing him once again win today? We saw him win at Daytona in the first race of the season. Can he go on to extend his points lead with 2 wins? And our third driver to keep an eye out on, a driver to keep an eye out on every week due to his pretty good finishes, Gerardo Rand driving the number 19 Chevrolet. Starting farther out back, remember, farther in the back, you might actually have a better chance of winning the race. I mean, we saw that happen with Darren O'Connor. We saw that happen with Sesbin Kukalon. Can Gerardo Rand get his long-awaited first win of the season after coming up just short in the first 2 races? 13 laps is going to be a relatively long race, the track being relatively long. Our first road course event of the season. And this should be a relatively big race here. NASCAR used to run at the Portland Motor Speedway in the Truck Series for a couple seasons. They no longer do that anymore, and the track is mostly now localized racing. But today, the International YouTube Racing League will be hosting its first race here at the road course. As here comes the pace car coming off that final turn. Ryan Durrani is going to lead him off here today for what should be a thrilling race. Green flag is out here for the first time today at the Portland Motor Speedway in Portland, Oregon. Chris DeJetta already has a pretty big lead ahead of the rest of the field here. Don't forget, you gotta keep an eye on the back here. This is often a pretty wild hit. Oh, there we go! Cody Hagan goes around! Slides off the track. No caution, though, since he stayed off the track. But this is going to be a relatively intense first lap here. Oh, we got more trouble. Oh, that's John Dixon and Kerry Rogers, who's running up front for a big chunk of the race. He was up front for a while. He was starting up front, and he's going to be already way behind as Chris Tejeda will lead the first lap here today, but it looks like he will. Chris Tejeda will come off that final turn. He will lead the first lap of the race. Yes, this is just the first lap of the race. We're already in for a big treat. Looks like relatively clean racing so far, aside from some minor incidents involving Cody Hagan and John Dixon. But other than that, relatively clean racing. Oh, we got a little bumping behind here. Gotta keep an eye on this back pack right here, because this is where it's going to be the most intense racing. It's going to be farther back. But looks like Chris Tejeda is currently leading the field right now in that number 16 Ford. Oh, a couple cars are running off the track a little bit. That was John Dixon. Dixon not having a good race right now. Car's all banged up already. Another driver. Kerry Rogers is starting up in the top 10, all the way back outside the top 30. Oh, a little more trouble behind. That was number 8 car, Justin Ritchie, who flipped over last week at Homestead. He kind of fell off track for a moment there. But Chris Tejeda, so far so good for Chris Tejeda, the number 16 ride. Keeping that car right ahead of the leaders. The top 3 are Fords at the moment, with Chris Tejeda in the 16, Ryan Durrani in 37, and Cyrus McGee in the 44. Cyrus McGee, we haven't really talked about much this season. He's been one of those relatively quiet drivers so far, as in, he's been doing pretty well. I think he got a top 10 last week at Homestead, but, oh, we got a little trouble there. Oh, that's number 16. Chris Tejeda's in the grass. And here comes Ryan Durrani. Chris Tejeda, oh, he loses it in the grass. And that's going to leave Ryan Durrani up in the lead. Oh, and Chris Tejeda gets turned around, back in the wall. And that's going to bring up the caution. More trouble for Justin Haveltree. Oh, Lightning McBean. Trey Wright, the 32. Oh, there goes Gerardo Rand, the 19. Wow. The first caution's out early on lap number 3. Oh, looks like, Carl Friesen might have some damage on his car. As Ryan Durrani, the pole sitter, is going to lead him back as your leader. Man, tough break for Chris Tejeda. Leads a couple laps and then gets loose and right into Danny Barand. But yeah, that was a couple drivers making their ways up, however. As coming back to the line, Ryan Durrani, number 37 car, will retake his lead. Followed by Cyrus McGee in the 44. Gustavo Roldan Jr., we haven't talked about him yet today. He's up to 3rd. LJ Toledo in 4th, and Drew Schultz in 5th. Other than that, I think everyone else has been relatively... So that is such not... I think Trey Wright has a lot of damage on his car. Looks like Justin Haveltree... Something happened with Justin Haveltree. His car is destroyed on the front of the car. But... anyways, the car's going to be coming around. I don't know if anyone's going to be making any early pit stops. There, Ryan Durrani will be coming around as your leader. But let's see what happens on lap number 3 of the race. So we're actually going to start off and see what happened with John Dixon and Kerry Rogers on lap 1. As you can see, Kerry Rogers way in the grass. Yeah, I think that was why he fell out of the top 10, it looks like. And then he just runs right back. Couldn't control his car, and John Dixon just happened to be a victim of timing, it looks like. Slides off the track, rear end hard in the tire barrier. As Kerry Rogers and John Dixon running in the top 10 at that time. Actually, both were in the top 5 at that time. And we're going to move on to the next part of the wrecking, which happened... actually happened into the hairpin or not really the hairpin, but that sort of area, entering lap number 3 with Jarrett Bregler. As I'm going to show you right now. It was entering in the first turn right here. Looks like Larson Saunders couldn't slow down time. Oh, Cesar Kugelon actually goes around. And then just a big pileup right there. Larson Saunders almost... Oh, he just bumps the back end of the wall here. It looks like he just got in the way. Larson Saunders kind of got stuck behind Jarrett Bregler and then just ended up turning him back around. But, yeah, that was just that did not bring out the caution, however. It was something that had to do a little later in the wreck right here. I think it had to do... We're going to see what happened with Justin Haffletree and what caused him. Oh, yes, it was... looks like he just kind of got loose. He was way in the grass. And then he just kind of lost it because he has very little grip in the turns. And then just kind of... He tried to break out, slams into the wall. Don't know if that's what brought out the caution. Highly doubt it. Oh, I bet that's what brought out the caution, I believe. Gerardo ran Amir Nibs going around. I don't know if Amir Nibs picked up anyone else. Gerardo ran keeping it off the barrier. Now we're going to see what happened up front, which involved Chris Chigetta. I have no idea what happened to him. He had a good lead. I think he was going off into the turn here. This was coming in the S's right here. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, the rear tire got into the back, lost a lot of speed. Like the whole car is in the grass right there. It looked like he was just trying to get control of his car. Just bounced left and right on the car. There's Ryan Durrani passing for the lead. Right there. Chigetta trying to keep his car. Yeah, it looked like he was trying to keep his car off the tire barriers right there. That probably wouldn't have been a good moment right there. But trying to control his car back up. And then just right in the path of Danny Barand. And he tries to, and there's like nothing much he can do there. Slams in the rear end of the car. That's going to puncture the fuel cell. And he is out of the race here. Caution out on lap number 3. Almost forgot what happened to Trey Wright right here. As you can see right there, he's pretty much the same thing as happened to Justin Haffletree. Lost in the grass, hard into the barrier right there. Oh, looks like Lightning McBean also had an issue with that. Oh, Gerardo Rand almost clipped the number 32 car. Well, it looks like the 32 and the 16 are going to be out of the race. As right here, we're riding on the back of Chris Chigetta. Looks like he was having a little struggle with the steering getting in these S's. And then he kind of loses it in the grass, comes back, and right into the wall. Really tough break for Chigetta. As we are under caution on lap number 3 of the IYTRL IHOP Cup Series race at Portland. We'll be right back after the break. The IYTRL IHOP Cup Series is brought to you by Pure Leaf. Try their new brewed herbal tea today. And by DeVry University. Build a more powerful you with their hybrid and online degree programs in business, tech, and health. As we're about ready to go back under green here on lap number 6, will be next lap. So we're about to be halfway through the race here. Cars that are out of the race right now: Justin Haffletree, Trey Wright, and the number 16 of Chris Chigetta are out of the race. Darren O'Connor had a little bit of trouble on pit road. He is currently on pit road. Had a little accident there, but he is still in the race. Well, oh, looks like a little trouble for Tony Wright, the 66. He's off pace. But anyways, as we're going to be having Ryan Durrani coming around as the leader here. Is he going to win here today? Oh, a little bit of trouble behind. Don't know what's going on with the 66. But anyways, we're back in the green here for the second time today at Portland. Yeah, it looks like Tony Wright and Matt Bartle's coming in for pit stops. Darren O'Connor currently in the pit stall right now. As Ryan Durrani trying to keep his lead away from Cyrus McGee here. Gustavo Roland Jr. doing a good job right now, currently in the 3rd position as well. But at the moment, it is Ryan Durrani in the number 37, who is the pole sitter, led all but 3 laps so far today, so led about half the race so far. And by the looks of it, it has been relatively single-file racing for a majority of the race. So we might be seeing Ryan Durrani coming around as the winner as long as nothing goes wrong. But let's not forget, we do have a session of green flag pit stops coming in later on. That might be the determining winner of the race today. Whoever has the best pit strategy. We'll see how that happens out. So Ryan Durrani is going to come around. Once again, going to lead his first official green flag lap of the race. Oh, it looks like I got a little trouble behind. Carter Friesen going in for pits. Some drivers already coming in for pit stops. Is this a potential move right here that this might actually be a smart move for drivers like Friesen and Larson Saunders? A couple drivers coming in for pits. Is this a potential strategy right here? Could this be getting pit stops done early so you'll be having a chance to win the race? We don't know. John Dixon, I think, might be going in for some repairs. Yeah, Matt Bartle's a lap down, but Ryan Durrani, still your leader at the moment. Let's not forget, I think Durrani has to have a good pit stop when the green flag pit stops come in, if he wants to have a chance to win the race. But so far, so good. Right now, 4:37 team. Cyrus McGee trying to catch up with them, but it doesn't look like that's going to be too much of an issue unless he has a good run coming off one of these turns. Let's not forget, Chris Tejeda had a big run, was running really well, and then I think he got a little bit loose off those S's. Will the same thing happen with Ryan Durrani? Who knows? We'll see what happens. But I think it looks like at the moment, Durrani's running pretty well. Oh, hell, he gets in the grass a little bit, but really comes down here, as next time by, we will be, I believe, around 5 laps to go next time by. So this has been a relatively short race, but let's not forget the laps are relatively long, as they're approaching lap traffic in the form of Matt Bartles in the 17. But so far, a pretty good race for Durrani. Right now, let's take a look at who else is currently running inside the top 5. Drew Schultz running a pretty good race. He had a little spin out coming into pit road in Homestead last week. Other than that, he's been running a pretty good race so far. Currently in 4th right now. Danny Barand running a pretty good race, driving that number 10 machine. Currently 5th. And we got Brandon Rando. I haven't talked about much about him so far this season. Did lead a couple laps at Daytona, but other than that, not much yet. And then we got Sensei Kukulon, Homestead winner, currently 7th. Ethan Matheson so far in the 8th position. He led a couple laps at Homestead last week. Jack Kitchell, and looks like Bobby Towers currently battling for that 9th position. Then behind him you got Chase Bell, sorry. Driving number 28. Scotty Upton currently in 12th. Lucifer Sam in 13th. Jonathan Mick with a beat-up side currently in 14th. And Jonah Cullen is currently in 15th. Other than that, Ryan Durrani has approached number 17. Matt Barlow is going to put the 17 car lap down, as he will come around here. Coming up to 4 laps to go here. And I think he might be using the lap traffic as a way to get ahead of everyone else. Something happened with Cyrus McGee. Cyrus McGee in the number 44 car. Something happened with him. Must have got loose in the car because he went back from 2nd all the way to 4th. As now Gustavo Roldan Jr. is currently in 2nd right now, but Drew Schultz looking on the inside, but couldn't quite get there. Gustavo Roldan Jr. having his best run so far this season, number 24 car. Oh, Matt Bartle's in the grass right there, but oh, he's going to be okay. But will Roland Jr. have a chance to actually catch up to number 37 to get his first win of the season? Let's not forget, right now, everyone inside the top 6 is looking for his first win of the season. As Ryan Durrani currently going in. But it sounds like he might be going in for pit stops this time by. With 3 laps to go. Will that be the case? Yep, there we go. Here we go, everyone. This is going to be the determining factor for the win. Durrani's in. Roland Jr.'s in. Schultz in. McGee's in. Pretty much everybody's in. Except for Chase Bell. Chase Bell stays out. Will that be a smart move? Oh, something happened with Lightning McBean. That car is destroyed. But anyways, let's see what's going on right here. Durrani has to have a good move right here. I think Chase Bell hasn't gone in for the pit stop yet. There's Durrani currently right there. I think we'll see if anyone else has a move on the inside. Drew Schultz coming out. Brandon Rendo, is that going to be enough, however? And no, it's not. Ryan Durrani's going to stay out here and stay as the leader. Tries to make sure he doesn't get in the traffic right there, but he's going to come out as the leader at the moment is Chase Bell in the 28. We'll see if he can keep that lead or if he's going to come in for pit stops. We'll see what happens there as we're going to take a look at the rest of the... And now as everyone else is basically cars that have been on pit stops, except for we have a couple drivers that haven't gotten to pits yet. We have Amir Nibs and Cody Hagan hasn't come in for pit stops yet. And here comes Chase Bell coming in for pits. Amir Nibs is not going in, but Cody Hagan is. So how about that? Currently the leader right now, that is the number 11 of Amir Nibs. Had a pretty good run last time at Homestead. Had an engine trouble that cost him out of the race. But will he be able to redeem himself today with a win and getting the Portland points? So he's going to be sort of going in the grass a little bit, but that doesn't matter. 2 laps to go. But yeah, good run today. Sean Savasky is currently in the 2nd position. And it looks like because of the fact that the other drivers pitted, Carter Friesen is currently in 3rd. But at the moment, it's Amir Nibs coming to the white flag this time by. Will he have enough fuel to go around, or will he have to forfeit the win just to make sure he has enough fuel? And he's going in for pits. That will lead Sean Savasky as the leader coming to the white flag here. It looks like he's going in for pits as well. And that might lead Carter Friesen will come around as the leader once he passes the other 2. But at the moment it will be Amir Nibs. And it looks like Carter Friesen staying out. White flag this time by for Carter Friesen. He had just passed Amir Nibs to lead. Amir Nibs coming out of the pits, but here comes Ryan Durrani, currently now in 2nd position here. Carter Friesen flipped at Daytona. Will we be seeing Carter Friesen getting the win here today? I think he might have actually done a pretty smart move by getting those pit stops done early. But it's all going to come down to this. Will he be staying out, or will he end up forfeiting his position? I don't really think he's going to be forfeiting his position this late in the race, however. And he's going to come through the final lessons. Coming through the final turns down that long straightaway. It's all going to come down to this. Oops. But here he comes. Going into the final turn. Will he be staying out? It looks like he will. Coming out of the final turn, Carter Friesen uses a great pit strategy to get the win here at Portland International Speedway and get the Portland point. Carter Friesen, the third different winner this season, and has a strong race here today. Pretty much quiet all the way to the final lap, and he gets it done here today. As we take a look at your official results today, Carter Friesen comes home with the win. Ryan Durrani comes in an impressive second. Larson Saunders, who had a similar pit strategy to Carter Friesen, comes home with a third place. Then we got Brandon Rando, Drew Schultz, Gustavo Golden Jr., Amir Nibs, Husky Kukulon, Chase Bell, and Jack Kitchell rounding out today's top 10. Then you can see right there, Carter Friesen about ready to do his victory burnout here today after getting the win here at Portland, the first road course race of the season. Looks like he's kind of struggling to get the burnout started, but there we go. Congratulations to Carter Friesen in the number 1 Hampton Ford on his first win of the season. Tune in next week to see the next race of the IHOP Cup Series at Pikes Peak. My name is Noah Cars, and thank you for watching the IYTRL IHOP Cup Series.